Okay, sir.
Let him go. I want to give some tidbits on the life and times of Happiness Santos Duru and the Happiness Santos Duru Foundation, which will dwell on issues of women, maternal issues, then the girl-child development. Happiness Duru, a young, vibrant, intelligent, beautiful girl who was so positive about life, got married to Santos Duru at about 2014, 2015 in Oko in Anambra State. I was privileged to have been there for the wedding. Santos being a friend of mine right from my times at the minor seminary when I did my pastoral year. And that friendship had endured over the years, and I've enjoyed a lot of benefit. I can tag him as one of my major benefactors and a friend. And marrying Happiness brought happiness to his life. He glowed and brightened up and was very happy. I remember asking him why he wanted to marry at that time. He said, well, he didn't want to lose happiness. But fast forward to 2021, we lost Happiness to the battle of breast cancer. When he broke the news to me of her medical condition, I thought it was a joke, because each time I always chatted with her on Facebook Messenger and I saw her pictures. I said, how could this girl be suffering from breast cancer? Is it the case that there's something that I'm not aware of? Until she died, I thought it was a joke. Her body was brought and buried in Nigeria, part of her last wishes. If not for a man who really loved the wife, if a woman dies, you can decide to look for any flimsy excuse to bury her over there in the UK. But he brought the body, which is an honor, the last honor due to a wife. And throughout our conversations while she was alive, she never complained about Santos to me. You know, young girls who complain that their husbands are cheating on them, their husbands are beating them, their husbands don't give them enough money. I never heard that from Happiness. And you could see through the eyes of Santos that I really loved the wife. They were blessed with 2 children. And Happiness, we believe, is in heaven, because heaven has really gained an angel in her death. She died in peace and at peace with God. And over the years, after her funeral, I have been meditating and thinking and praying until the revelation came to me to start a foundation. So I discussed with Santos, and immediately keyed into the idea, and we have been doing the paperwork to see how this can be made possible. We are not going to limit it just to breast cancer or diseases among women, but we are going to widen the scope about the girl child, about adolescents, about young adults and women, because we have so many cases that women face all over the world, from the issues of widowhood to rape to victims of warfare to domestic violence to human trafficking to out of school population and child marriage. A lot of young girls are forced to marry at the ages of 12, 13, 14, and they are exposed to the vaginal vesicle fistula, which is the VVF, very common in the north. And many of them die during childbirth, and nobody cares for them because the husbands feel it is too expensive to take them to hospitals. They attach them to quacks and to TBAs, traditional birth attendants, and many of these women die in the process. In this 21st century, no woman should die just because she's giving birth, because the medical support has improved greatly. Medical service delivery has improved greatly. A lot of women suffer from violence due to war situations. If you take your minds back to the civil war fought in Nigeria from 1967 to 1970, there were cases of women who were being disemboweled. They would tear their belly and bring out the baby alive and kill them. In cases of Rwanda, there are issues and evidences of systematic rape, where neighbors were taking the wives of their neighbors and put them under lock and key and continue a constant rape of their victims. Women are usually victims of warfare all over the world. Same also issues of widowhood. Women who lose their husband at tender ages are being disinherited. Their children are left to suffer because the brothers of the deceased cut away all the benefits that are supposed to accrue to them. And many of them are left in penury because of their situation. Issues of domestic violence. It's also very common, men who beat their wife at the slightest provocation, and women who die before their time because of the bid to save their marriage. Through this foundation, we're going to give them a voice, give them an opportunity for protection, opportunity for them to air their views, and economic support to come out of this dastard and callous situation that they find themselves. Even women are exposed to human trafficking, and it's very popular in this part of the world where children from poor homes are being trafficked to other parts of the country like Lagos, Abuja, without their consent and even knowledge, down to Libya, to the UK, to the US, to Italy, and many of them have become sex slaves. So now have become sex slaves, and they are forced into prostitution. And not that the money is being raised for them, the money is also raised to service their madams. Some of these cases are very prominent, some of these cases are very present, they're very active in our world. And then the issues of girl-child education. Many men feel they shouldn't educate their children because it's like watering another man's garden. Women suffer a lot because of their gender. They are being denigrated, they are being trampled upon, they are being seen as second-class citizens, they are being subjugated and subjected to many ills and wrongs in our society. And this must stop. That is why the Happiness Duru Foundation wants to bring happiness, wants to bring a smile on the faces of girls. Because as Nelson Mandela said, that if you train a woman, you will train a generation. Because the women will always remember their children, the women will always remember their household, the women will always remember their family. And then we also want to educate young men through our activities. Because if women are educated and the men are not educated, it will still be the same problems. So that men will learn how to respect women, men will learn rather to care for women instead of to beat women. A woman should never be beaten. A woman should be cared for. A woman should be catered for. A woman should be treated with care and love. That is what the Happiness Duru Foundation is set to achieve. Many young girls have to drop out of school because they cannot afford sanitary pads. Sanitary pad now, those days was 500 naira, that's just about $1. But now it costs about $3, which is 1,500 naira to get this. How many young girls can afford that? So many of them have to use old rags and towels and handkerchiefs as sanitary pads, and then they cannot go to school. So 1 out of every 5 girls has to drop out of school because they cannot afford sanitary pads. And 2 out of 5 girls you see on the streets have been raped. They have been subjected to different types of rape even within the family. We heard of the case of Ochanya in Benue State that was raped by her uncle and her cousin. It was a systematic rape. The cousin was caught raping the girl, they reported to the uncle. The uncle continued from where the cousin stopped until this girl developed DVF and died. As we are talking, Ochanya has been buried. That is 1 out of so many cases that are unreported, so many cases that go unnoticed, that we need to identify and support. A lot of girls are abandoned in universities by their parents, and they cannot afford basic support like money to buy kerosene, money to refill their gas, money for their exams. Some lecturers sleep with them. Some of them have to go to sleep with vulcanizers and mechanics just to keep body and soul together. And what do they need? Something very little for them to regain their human dignity. These are some of the issues we want to address with the Happiness Duru Foundation. Issues of sanitation, hygiene, the hygiene of women, what they call the wash, water and sanitation. It is stated that 10 billion hours is wasted every year by women all over Africa looking for a place to defecate. 10 billion hours. So imagine the kind of time that is being wasted that would have been used more profitably. And a lot of women cannot afford jobs. If you go to work, the manager wants to sleep with them, the director wants to sleep with them. Some of them have to go through different forms of molestation. Even in the banks, they will become business managers to sleep with their clients just to get jobs. this is wrong. And that is what the Happiness Duru Foundation seek to address, and to support the girl child to advance educationally. We need more young girls to become medical doctors, more young girls to go into professional courses, so that the world can become a better place. So we pray that through this foundation, on this day, that to celebrate the life and times of Happiness Santos Duru, this foundation will be able to address some of these issues and bring about a better world. This is our prayer through Christ our Lord. So may the soul of Happiness Santos Duru and the souls of all the faithful be parted through the mercy of God. Rest in peace.
Amen.